Have you come out of a relationship and have spent some time on your own only to find that you miss your ex and you want them back? My name's Luanne Ward. I'm a dating and relationship expert for over 25 years. Splitting up with somebody and going your separate ways, there will often be at least one of you, or perhaps both of you, that are starting to question your decision about whether you should have broken up and whether there's a chance to get back together. Will it work out? Can it actually work out with an ex? Of course, we know people that have successfully come back together with an ex, but more often than not, the reconciliation often doesn't work. There's three very important things to ask yourself before you decide to take the trip down the road of reconciliation. The first one is really be honest with yourself and ask yourself, why do I want my ex back? When you ask this question and you truly are honest, you're going to hear yourself answer things like, well, I miss them, I feel lonely, I'm not sure I've made the right choice, I didn't think it would be this hard, I've made a mistake. These are really common emotions to go through. Is it about them, or is it actually about you and your fears? Fear that you've made a mistake, fear that you might not find somebody else, fear that they might find somebody else and move on. Fears can actually keep us from moving forward, but the more pain there is, the more transformation there is. It's very easy to get stuck in the fantasy and remember all of the good things, the infatuated things that you liked about your partner. It's almost like you can get relationship amnesia and forget about all of the reasons why you broke up in the first place. You can't fear the future because the future actually hasn't happened. So any time you're feeling the loss and a fear about something, it's only the associated things that have already happened to you. So when you're considering getting back with your ex, understand that the time that you're spending apart and building your life back together, that is going to be difficult. Number two, ask yourself, why is it we broke up? Remind yourself about the reasons for the relationship coming to the end. Was there hurtful words and disagreements and saying things that you can't take back, or perhaps an addiction of some kind? You need to really start thinking about why you broke up, and who broke it off with who can also be really relevant. If you're the person that's been rejected, you sometimes crave to have that person back just to get over the rejection. You have to remember that when you were in that relationship, there were times where you struggled, okay? Because clearly if you didn't, you wouldn't have ended the relationship in the first place. And relationships have two sides to them. They have their positive and they have their negative, and they have their pains and they have their pleasures. But it's not natural to go through life without having no pain without pleasure. So the pain that you might be going through now and missing your ex and finding it really difficult to be on your own and experiencing the loneliness, people actually experience that within a relationship as well. Sometimes the loneliest place can actually be lying next to somebody in bed and feeling more lonely than you do when you're actually by yourself. So it's natural in life to experience moments of loneliness. So if you're going through the separation and building your life back together, it's natural to cling on to the nostalgia of the past because there's pain associated with pushing forward, but that's actually transformation. Number three, what would it take and what changes would need to happen for the two of you to realistically get back together? Has anything changed? Have you been working on yourself? Has your ex been working on themselves? The fundamental truth is that you have no right to try and change somebody. People have to make their own decisions about whether they want to change, and if you decide to love somebody, you have to accept both sides of them. So sometimes when you're working through counselling and things, there's a lot of you should do this and you should do that, and I need you to do this and I need you to do that, and you ought to. As soon as you start placing those demands on somebody, the relationship has got very little chance of actually working out. You can't change another person, okay? You can only change and grow yourself, and fundamentally you're not going to change who you are, but you can grow and understand and become more tolerant and patient and expect less from your partner in terms of wanting them to do everything your way, because relationships are two ways. You can't expect your partner to do everything the way that you want them to do it and to have no arguments. People essentially don't change. Time heals certain wounds because it pushes them to the back of your memory, but as soon as you get back with the person, all of that old stuff comes up. And if you haven't dealt with it and you haven't learned to reconcile with the past, you're not going to be able to reconcile with the present, and you're certainly not going to be able to move forward effectively with your past, okay? So when you decide that you want to get back together, everything has to start from a clean slate. You can't try to solve everything from the past, and you do have to have a strategy for moving forward. Next week, I'm going to share with you, for those people that would like the information, I'd like you to connect with me in my inner circle. So I'm going to make a video about the steps that you can take to maximize the successful results of getting back together with an ex, because trying to do it in the wrong order, the chance of the relationship surviving is fairly low. There is a specific order that you need to go through that will maximize the chances of the reconciliation working out past, a couple of months. So this video is just for people that are going to be in my inner circle that I know are committed to having more inspired relationships, both with yourself and with others. So if you'd like to view this video and other videos that I'm making just for my inner circle, please just put connect in the comments below or send me a private message, and I look forward to sharing more with you. This is going to be a closed Facebook page for people that want to ask questions and really have more inspired relationships. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. If you've got any questions in regards to getting back with your ex, there's pretty much nothing that you can't overcome in a relationship if you learn to have love and gratitude for everything that's happened. And I can show you how to do that, and we'll share more of that next week. So have a good week, and I'll see you all next week.